Good evening, everyone. This is Sibbe Bladh. People only listen to things they want to hear. Things that are convenient for them. That reinforce their beliefs. All other things they find boring, unbearable to listen to. And things you don't understand, you get tired from listening to that. And people are bored very easily. Losing focus, losing concentration, losing the story, the sense of a thread. So it's very hard to communicate. And what makes normal people to communicate in these times is that a lot of famous person are really nothing special, nobodies. And the real advanced thinkers and scholars are basically ignored, or their hours of work just lie untouched by human attention. It lies in a world of its own, where only the deep thinkers go to listen for these hours of gold and to learn. Most people that have something real to say have read a lot. Reading activates your mind and put words in your head so you can formulate what you want to say. So reading is essential, and reading is also lining up information and structures of information so you can deliver that in a interesting way. So I love to listen to real smart lecturers and scholars. It's a joy for me. It suits my intelligence to listen to that. But many people they can't take it. They get ants in their ass, like we say in Swedish, and they can't sit still. Yeah, like my floor couldn't do now. So how can you find a concentration? And the world ain't making it easier for you with the digitalization that has made you flip channel all the time, listening to new tunes all the time. It's so much influx. So much visions of flashing by, so much sound. So your brain is blinking. It's running too fast, so it can't concentrate. Reading books. I haven't checked if it's common today, but I guess since the computer came, I hate reading on computers, so I haven't read a lot of books in the last 10 years. But I remember the periods where I read a lot of books. I have read history, was my favorite subject in school, and I have read about all the kings of Sweden and basically all history books ever written about Sweden in modern time. So there's many books. I emptied all the libraries in the places I lived. I emptied all of their books. I bought tens of books, like 5 books every month sometime, and just read about kings. And what I noticed was that my brain started to activate. So I could freely talk about history and names and years and dates. Some people say, oh, you remind me of my history teacher in school. And then I realized the power of books. The power of books, they are keys to communication. And that's why academics, they speak another language. They had advanced words. So they have a shorter language, so they can fill everything with much more material in their conversations and communication. So that is the power of reading and study and knowledge. But since it's a time of zeros, then even I can dare to step out on the stage, you know. Because I think like Genghis Khan. He said, never engage in a battle where you're not 100% sure to win. For many reasons, of course. Mostly for practical reasons. But also to not make fool of yourself. To look like an idiot. And this is what many people do. They challenge people that are way over their capacity. They challenge the completely wrong people and they get smashed and crushed and bashed to pieces in front of everybody. So, but now it's a fun age. Everybody can make fool of themselves and record videos and stuff. I follow some on Facebook where regular people live stream, and this is so sick. They just sit in their living room like watching a movie or eating something, or it's very stupid, and they have loads of watchers, hundreds. So I know in this age everything is twisted. The real intelligent stuff have few viewers, while the really stupid stuff have a lot of viewers. If you don't go into a niche, of course. If you pick a subject to work, a genre to work in, then you will attract a lot of followers in that genre, of course. But just for being a free, you know, self-centered person that are yourself. That's a slogan nowadays. Be yourself, right? Just be yourself, man. Okay. But when you are yourself, that seems problematic for some people. If you're not the self they look for. And some people have no self. Some people lose their sense of self to avoid suffering. Because only if you have a sense of self you can suffer. But in this world, you know, you shouldn't play games with psychopaths. Or with anyone. Be straight, you know, be an artist. Play. But don't hurt others. And don't get others involved in your bullshit. That is the way to problems. Be like a free butterfly. And sting like a bee when it's needed. Because it's so much fun in the world. This is such a dark place that we need to have some humor. We need to laugh. We need to see the strange in everything. The twisted. So we can laugh at it and don't get caught in this sad fucking world. And all the misery that is going on. I see people take this on their shoulders and carry all their the hurt, all the burdens of the world are on their shoulders. And their foreheads are wrinkled. And they look in despair and they moan. What we gonna do? This is the idealist curse. We call it toxic empathy, like self-destroying. But people have a lot of humor, and you can see the internet is overflowed with strange pictures and memes, and you get to laugh every day. You get to laugh. It's very funny. Because eventually you will cry. So you better laugh while you can. Because sadness will always come to us. It's a matter of time. And we live between those touching moments of life when we're so affected that we cry from sadness and loss and different happenings in life. It's bad when you come to a stage where you feel nothing anymore. I can relate to this. I heard about some women that had survived concentration camps, and when they looked at movies about this 25 years later, they cried. And then they said that, look, we're crying. We're human now. There was a time when we couldn't cry. And I know that feeling. When you're sad but you can't cry. That's an awful, terrible, scaring, panic feeling you get. Because it's like someone have plugged you. I went out to the forest and I tried to scream and try to get some tears going or something. I couldn't cry for years. It was totally empty. I was the worst feeling of my life, this emptiness. And I will never put myself in a situation to be in that mindset or mode or mental feeling any time again in my life. But I'm aware that sadness will come. It always does. And then it's easy to forget that when we're laughing and having fun and living everyday life. It seems so infinite. Like it's never gonna end. And we get into our daily routines and the years roll by. And then from then to then life slaps you. And you have a new period of big changes. That's why we have to try to help each other. Also, when the other is down, we have to try to help them and support them, because we know that everybody get down. You're also going to be down there one day, and if there is any justice or spirit world or secret world that watches you, maybe you get it back. If you give, maybe you get. Maybe there is a law of action, a higher mind that look at everything and are just. It seems like that, I think. Not that it works straight away, but most people seem to get what they deserve in the end. I could be wrong. Some people want to say this world is completely pointless. Coming from nowhere, going to nowhere. I find that illogical. all systems serve for something. They have meaning. It wouldn't exist without a meaning. Even if that is the only meaning, there is meaning with it. Because obviously you live your life and you try to make it beautiful in your way. If everything was pointless, we could just drop everything and say, fuck this. Which many people do, of course. Too many. More and more. It's getting more common that people don't give a fuck. And that narcissism have become the new normal in the narcissist society, where no one gives a shit about anything and try to squeeze each other as bad as possible to pinch them and tear them and put them down so you can rise. Other people's accomplishments are a threat to your ego. Must destroy them, must be jealous. This is the narcissist decree. And this seems to rule a lot of people's psychology nowadays. This fear of others greatness or individuality, or that everyone are special in their own way. And fear leads to hate, hate leads to anger, anger leads to murder. And then we have the good old drama going that has haunted mankind for thousands of years. Because when we look back, it's just violence all the way back to the first story we can hear. How the gods killed the giant to create the worlds. So happiness is between the sad moments. And life is also between the hard moments, from birth and death. And other bullshit that can happen on the way. But we can't forget what we have felt at the moment when we was filled with the most love during this journey. That is truth. That is divine. And that power is real. It was you, your true self, that was vibrating in its highest frequency. And you was filled by this love. Whether you felt it for your spouse, your child, your family, your animals, the world, nature, your country, anything that fills you with vibration of the deepest love. That is the holy parts, that is the peak. And then our behavior. And that something lives on, that is self-evident. Everything just don't disappear because materia drop. Nowadays they have even weight bodies after life has left them. The weight go down. There is some cameras. I'm not sure if it's Killian's camera, but Killian has a lot of energy cameras that they have seen the force leave the body. Anyone who tried drugs, like extreme psychedelics, they have traveled through dark regions of death, even much darker than real death probably are. Because when with drugs like salvia or DMT, your whole sense of self is shattered. and you disappear out in and are nothing. And that feeling is very horrible. That feeling is very deeply scaring and fucked up. Because you feel when you fly out of your heart, when the heart starts beating and you shoot out from the heart, and the complete sense of self is dissolved. But I don't think that is how death feels like. Because when you die, you don't have any drug in your system. Well, they say that DMT, or your brain release DMT in the moment of death. But DMT is also the one that runs your dreams. So, and in the dream you can be conscious of yourself. The shamans, they are dreamers. They travel in their dreams, and sometimes the shamans fight magic war inside their dreams. So death might be like a dream, and dreams can be tricky. Dreams can be both extremely crystal clear and very confused, very scaring, repetitive, or very enlightening, filled with grace and wisdom. Anyways, the self, that is the divine unit, and all lives are lived for this self to become smarter and learn all the instincts of the natural world and master all those. Otherwise there is no purpose with life, and I am 100% sure that this have purpose. Just like we humans try to make sense out of everything, the higher also fills everything with meaning and sense. It's nothing strange for me. I think you need a very dark mind to think that nothing is the goal of everything. But yet I myself, I am nothing. My sense of ego is gone, long gone. I think I lost it when I had maximum Kundalini. I never could have such a big ego after that, or self, because I'm very pragmatic and nothing means a lot anymore. So, and I don't suffer. I don't suffer from the nothingness. So it can't hurt me. I can handle the nothingness. But it doesn't mean that the meaning of life is nothingness, or the aim of living through planetary systems are nothingness. The opposite. Look at the universe. Look at all the galaxies they have taken photos of, with colors and shapes, and you know this place is a creative magic place. We can't fear the silence or the nothingness, but I think it's a mistake to see that as some kind of end goal of human life or material life. And it's also harmful to believe too much in what's coming. No preconceptions, except the practice, the meditation practice, so we can face death. Yeah. So everybody's talking nowadays. Everyone wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be seen. Because that's the way of this time. Even the most stupid. So I don't feel ashamed to share my little point of view. Even though I'm not a monster professor or some other highly elevated human being. I'm just being myself. And take it or leave it. Alright. Stay cocky. Stay cool. Bless.